Today we will be discussing the main idea and details of a story, and we will continue working with the book, The Secret Life of Snails and Slugs, which is the book that you just read. Do you know what the main idea of a story is?
It's like information of the book you tell you what it's about.
Okay, the information about the book, it tells you what it's about. Good. Every book or section of a book has a main idea, okay, and that's the most important thing that the book or section of the book is about. What do you think the main idea of this book is about? Now, we read this book last week, and you just read it to refresh your memory now. What do you think the main idea of this whole book would be?
The idea is that the animals it's too difficult to get that some animals eat snails and slugs too difficult to eat because the slime.
Okay, that could be one main idea. Snails, I would say the main idea for this book is that snails and slugs are very similar, okay? They have some characteristics that are the same, and some of the other things that they do are also the same. So today we're going to read the first 3 sections of this book and identify the main idea and also some facts or ideas that prove that what our main idea is correct, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to open up to the first section, and the title of the first section says Snail and Slug Bodies. So what we're going to do is we're going to read, which is called quarterly, which is at the same time. So what happens is I'm going to read and you're going to read with me, okay, at the same time. So let's try. So we're going to start reading. Ready? Go. Snails and slugs are much alike. They belong to the family of animals called mollusks. The mollusk family also includes clams, squids, and octopuses. All mollusks have soft bodies and to protect their bodies. And have shells to protect their bodies. Even slugs have a tiny shell hidden beneath their skin. Snails and slugs are also called gastropods, which means belly foot. A snail or slug has 1 foot with its head at one end. It seems to walk on its belly, but actually it is crawling on its foot. Snails and slugs have tongues with many rows of tiny sharp teeth. Okay, this is the last one for this section. Snails and slugs have 4 tentacles shaped like arms. At the ends of the top 2 tentacles are the eyes. These top tentacles are also used to smell. Slugs and snails use their bottom 2 tentacles for feeling their way along. Good job. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to think of a main idea just for this section. So the title was Snail and Slug Bodies, okay? So let's look at this page and this one, and let's think of what a good main idea would be. What do you think a good main idea for that section would be if you had to come up with something?
A mollusk has soft bodies and no black bones, and most have shells to protect their bodies.
Okay, well, I would say since the title says Snail and Slug Bodies, okay, what do you think would be a good main idea for snails and slugs? So we're going to put those 2 together. What were we talking about on these 2 pages? We were talking about what?
Talk about their bodies.
Okay, talking about what's bodies?
Their snails and slugs.
Okay, so we were talking about how they were what?
Because they are alike.
Okay, very good. So I would say a good main idea for this first one. Here's a pencil. This is a graphic organizer. We're going to organize our ideas. So what you're going to do is it says snail and slug bodies, which is the section we read. So you're going to write down the main idea, which you just told me. So you said snail and slug bodies are alike. Good. That's a good main idea. Now, what we need to do is we need to come up with a fact or detail that proves that this section was about snail and slug bodies being alike. So do you see anything in here, a fact maybe, that says how they are alike? It says that they both belong to the mollusk family, right? So let's see, what do we see in this sentence? What does it say here?
All mollusks have soft bodies and no black bones, and most have shells to protect their bodies.
Okay, so can we use that as one of our details, that all mollusks have soft bodies?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Go ahead, write it next to number 1. You can use this to help you spell it. You on the last word? Oh, perfect. And I like how you use punctuation at the end of the sentence, too. Good job. Alright, so now the next main idea we're going to look for is in the section that says slime. So let's look at the next section of the book. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to orally read this section also, just like we did on the first one. Okay? Alright, ready? Go. Snails and slugs move very slowly, gliding along on their single feet. The foot produces slime that helps the snail crawl, like sliding on a bed of jelly. The goo is sticky, so it also helps the animal climb. Slugs and snails drink through their skin, and their slime filters the water. Slime also helps protect snails and slugs. Birds, snakes, crabs, turtles, and other animals eat snails and slugs, but the slime makes it difficult for these hunters because dinner gets very sticky. Slug slime also tastes awful. This disgusting goo helps stop animals from eating snails and slugs. Good job. Alright, so in this section, what do we think? What's for the section slime, what do you think would be our main idea?
The idea is that the snails and slugs drink through their skins.
Okay, you know what? I think that would be a very good detail that we could put. What do you think for main ideas? What do you think about the overall? What does it say? Let's think about this. What was our title? Slime. So what did this section talk about?
Talk about all about snails and slugs slime.
Okay, so maybe you would say the slime, what do you think? The slime what?
The slime is very sticky.
Okay, that could be a detail also. How about we put, what do you think? We could put maybe snails and slugs have, what do they have?
Have slime.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, one detail was that you said what? I see it right here too in the book.
Slugs and snails drink through their skins, and their slime fares the water.
Good. Go ahead, you can write that as one detail. Good. Perfect. Very nice handwriting. All right, here's the last one. You ready? So this section's called Kinds of Snails and Slugs. Okay, so think about that when you're thinking about your main idea. All right, let's see. All right, you ready? All right. The first snails and slugs probably lived around 600 million years ago. Today there are around 80,000 kinds of snails and slugs. Some snails and slugs live on land and others live in water. Many beautiful slugs and snails live in the ocean. Both land and water snails and slugs love wetness. If a snail or slug dries out, it will die. Snails and slugs can be as tiny as the period on this page, and the largest are the size of rabbits. Snails can have dull, bright, spotted, or striped shells. Many sea slugs are brightly colored with red, blue, purple, silver, or yellow. Most land slugs are brown or green. One slug looks quite a bit like a fruit. It is the banana slug, which lives in the western United States. A banana slug is yellow with black spots, and it can grow as big as a banana. Boy, did you ever hear of a banana slug before?
No.
Me either. You learned something new. Alright, so let's go back. This is our last one. So main idea. So what is this section of the book? What do you think it's mostly about?
It's all about, like, different kinds of snails and slugs.
Perfect. Great job. Go ahead. It's a great main idea. Alright, so now we have to come up with one detail or one fact that shows that this section is all about the different kinds of slugs. So what do you think? What do you think we could do? Do you see anything in here maybe we can use?
The detail is
What about
snails and
this?
slug can be as tiny as a period on the page, and the largest of the snails and slugs and the largest of the size of rabbits.
Good. So maybe we could say that snails and slugs can be tiny and can be large. Does that sound good? Alright, go ahead. Good. All right. So we went over the main idea in detail. So the main idea of a story or a section of a story is what? What did we say the main idea is?
This is all about the information.
Okay. Or it's the most what?
Was
Do you remember what that word was? The most so it was the most important. Remember the most important part of the section or the story? And then the details, what do the details do? What are the details? They are the what? Started with an F, do you remember?
the facts.
Right, very good. The facts that support what our main idea is. Good. Okay, so next time when we go over when we go over a different story, we'll talk about the main idea and details of that story also, okay? All right, good job.